Hello everyone, this is King Vector 11 and welcome back to another weekly update video by me, King Vector 11, where I do my best to explain to you guys the new weekly information as best as I could to let you guys know of anything or everything you may need or wants to know. And coming up right after this video is my weekly update news video talking about the past week's news topics of Rockstar related topics. If you want to stay tuned for that video, stay tuned for it coming up shortly after this. And if you guys find both of these videos highly informative, if you wish to stay tuned for more content like this every Thursday evening, do leave a like, subscribe, you could go the extra mile, share this with your friends, leave a comment which you like to dislike by the information you've received. And without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with this week's new or I guess returning rewards, we just have double money NRP on 3 select jobs, I suppose. We have to complete this week's weekly challenge to receive a black creepy cat mask, and this week's login unlocks features the brown creepy cat mask, the maritime Kalakala mask, and the royal Kalakala mask. Now the double money NRP jobs, which by the way slasher adversary mode is one of them, but is quadruple rewards for GTA Plus members. The other ones features the continuing double rewards on Ludendorff Cemetery Survival, and now there's double money NRP on Acid Lab Cell missions. Moving on to this week's discounts, you have free skull tattoos when you go to the nearby tattoo parlor, and free sugar skull face paints when you go to your nearest barber in GTA Online. You also have 40% off the military rifle, as well as 30% off continuing Halloween themed vehicles, such as the Brigham, the Lurcher, the Frankenstange, the Romero Hearse, the Tornado Rat Rod, and the Sanctus. Other vehicle discounts features the Euros, not to be confused with the Euros X32, which was the newest one that released that looks more like the San Andreas variant, or Grenfell San Andreas variant. It also features the Sterling GT once again, the Windsor Drop, and the Eudora. Now on this list, beyond collecting these 5 limited time vehicles for Halloween themed vehicles that I've marked in red, the other vehicle that I recommend you guys pick up this week if you must is the Euros, basically because it's either a cosplay vehicle from Need for Speed Underground, but it's also a pretty good average vehicle. It is pretty easy to understand once you get the hang of it. I recommend the experience. Moving on to this week's vehicle showcases. This week's lucky wheel vehicle is the Conjo SJ. As you can see, if you want to pick this vehicle up, I kind of say it's closely related to possibly a Need for Speed Underground cosplay vehicle. So if you want to win it for that purpose only, go right ahead. But as far as I'm concerned, it is a four-wheel drive Honda Civic looking type of vehicle. Sort of, I suppose, especially if you decide to compare it to the actual Honda Civic from Need for Speed Underground. And it just behaves like a Honda Civic. There's nothing special about it, but if you want to win it for cosplay purposes, go right ahead. It's up to you. This week's Underground prize ride is the Futo GTX, in which you have to place top 5 for 3 days in a row. This is a really fun drift vehicle. It could also come with the drift tuner parts if you must. But if you want to act like Initial D type of driver, this is the vehicle for you. When you go underground, this week's test track vehicles features the Serrano, the Raiden, and the GT500. And of course, I recommend you guys pick up the Serrano, just generally because it has average stats. May not be the best vehicle out there, but especially for new players, I recommend picking up this vehicle if you want. It's a good experience to, for a start. Even if you manage to win the Conjo SJ from this week's Lucky Wheel or the Futo GTX from the Underground prize rides, then I recommend you guys pick up those vehicles as well if you must. They're average vehicles and I respect them. This week's HSW test ride for new gen players is the Brioso RA. This week's Luxury Autos vehicles features the Illusion and the Dominator FX. And this week's Simeon's showroom vehicles features the Sterling GT, the Body, which is Trevor's vehicle from Grand Theft Auto 5 single player, the Romero Hearse, the Scramjet, and the Cheetah. Now, of course, you have a choice to purchase the Romero Hearse from the online website for a limited time, but you could also decide to purchase from Simeon's showroom this week if you want as well. It comes with a really cool variant looking color, so if you want to pick it up just for Halloween cosplay purposes or just to have a convoy of a RP of someone's funeral, then go ahead if you want. It's totally up to you. But if you also want to pick up the Body, which is Trevor's GTA 5 vehicle from single player, just pick it up. It's totally up to you. And of course, if you want a fun vehicle to fly around and drive in and, just in free mode, I recommend the Scramjet. It's a good experience. Moving on to this week's weekly challenges. This week's premium race is Muscle In, this week's time trial is in Sawmill, and this week's new gen time trial is in Del Perro Beach. This week's weekly challenge is to kill your clone when a clone slasher spawns in free mode. in the session, particularly near you would be best. And this week's Salvage Yard Robbery target vehicles features the Torero XO through the Gangbanger robbery, the Vigoro ZX with the Duggan robbery, and the Camacho with the McTony robbery. None of these vehicles are claimable this week once again. And as far as general news comes to show for this week's weekly update, that's all that I have to showcase to you as of now. But for those who wants to stay tuned for the specifics of what's new in GT Online, well, you can stay tuned for that because I am going in through that right now. First of all, there's no new vehicle. Obviously, we're just going to go into something that is new, the North Yankton Nightmare Community Challenge, where of course I've made a video on this earlier last week, but I'd like to reassure you that Rockstar would like to say congratulations after making quick work of the North Yankton Nightmare Challenge's initial target by vanquishing over 200 million zombies in a popular new Ludendorff Cemetery survival over the span of 2 days. Mind you, their target was 80 million and we managed to hit 200 million. We upped the ante to 800 million and now you're poised to soar past that mark imminently. So we are very close to reaching the 800 million zombie kill mark in this series. So if you want to participate in that as soon as you could this week, there's definitely now is your chance to do so, especially that it's still on double money NRP. There's also a continuation of daily UFO spawns around the map in GTA Online. Of course, I'm making a Halloween series on this, so if you want to stay tuned for videos like those on a daily basis, you can stay tuned for my channel until the end of the month, because especially throughout this week up until the end of October, there will be different, unique, new locations spanned across these days up until the end of the month. So if you want to stay tuned for that, stay tuned for that if you must. This week's weekly challenge is of course to kill your clone in Clone Slasher, which is of course not a job, it's a free mode event where a clone will spawn near you regardless of if you're on foot or in a car, I believe, but it definitely only spawns at nighttime. So this week's your chance to do that for a free $100,000. This week's Lucky Wheel vehicle is the Conjo SJ, which is typically priced at 1.37 million or is priced at $1,027,500. In which to achieve this trade price, you have to reach a certain Ellis car meet reputation level. Though, like I said, this car looks really close to possibly any Honda Civic or possibly the main Honda Civic of Need for Speed Underground, as close as it could be, though not 100% accurate. So if you want to win this for cosplay purposes, especially that it's a really dark red, shiny gray color to it, I would recommend you guys pick it up as soon as you could this week. This week's prize ride features the Karen Futo GTX, which is normally priced, still available to this day, at $1,192,500. And to win it for free this week from the Underground Car Meet series, you have to place top 5 for 3 days in a row. For new gen players, your premium test ride is the Grotti Brioso RA for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S only as of now, I believe. It's going to possibly come to PC, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But here is an image of this vehicle in question. Simeon Vehicles this week uniquely features a scramjet. Simeon is selling weaponized vehicles now. That's interesting. You can still pick it up from the Warstock website if you want, but if you want to pick it up for a little bit more of an expensive cost, it will cost you $4,047,800. Other vehicles features the Benefactor Sterling GT, which is not available from in-game websites, but it's discounted down to $709,289. It also features the Grotti Cheetah, not available from in-game websites, priced at $650,000. The Chariot Romero Hearse, which is questionably a limited time vehicle, but is typically not available from in-game websites, though this week and other Halloween weeks is available. So if you want to pick it up this week, now's your chance to do so. It is discounted down to $31,500. And we of course have the Canis Body, which is Trevor's GTA 5 Story Mode vehicle from Grand Theft Auto 5, and it is priced at $25,000, and these prizes were taken straight from the game by me to showcase to you guys. Going to luxury autos vehicles, we have the Dominator FX featured this week at a price of $1,574,510, and we have the Vapid Illusion, which is featured at a price of $1,858,939. This week's test track vehicles when you go underground features the Benefactor Serrano, which is not available from in-game websites, but it's a pretty good decent starter vehicle for new players. I would recommend picking it up. It's a 2-door vehicle, but it's still pretty good. It is priced at $110,000. There's another vehicle, Grotti GT500, not available from in-game websites, priced at $785,000. And we also have the Coil Raiden, which is $1,375,000. All three vehicles are not available from in-game websites, and these prices were once again taken straight from the game for me to showcase to you guys by me. Vehicle robberies this week features the Pegassi Torero XO through the Gangbanger robbery, the DeClaza Vigoro ZX with a Duggan robbery, and the Canis Camacho with a McTony robbery. Here is an up-close image of these vehicles in question, and of course, once again, for the second week in a row, Rockstar has not updated this information on their latest newswire. Which of course just comes to show Rockstar's priorities of caring about the game and the player base compared to anything else, such as fixing glitches that makes the game fun. Anyways, this week's rewards features double money NRP on Slasher series, which is quadruple rewards for GTA Plus members this week, in which you can find Slashers 1 through 5 in the adversary mode tab in Rockstar's official jobs this week. North Yankton's Nightmare Community Challenge, as I've read already the first part earlier in this video, I would like to state to you guys that if you play GTA Online this week, all players who log in this week can receive the orange glow skeleton onesie, which is featured in this image I am showing you here. And you can also get the red hooded skull mask, featured in this image right over here. And of course, you can look for the purple glow and green glow skeleton onesies to arrive as early as next week, especially at the rate we are going, completing this community challenge, which basically is this outfit but in purple or green variants. I do not have an image to showcase to you guys directly, but I guess you can have an imagination to assume what this will look like in either green or purple. On top of this, the Ludendorff Cemetery Survival is still on double rewards this week. For those who wants to participate still, you can still participate and get double rewards from this survival job available in this game for Rockstar's jobs. Anyways, other rewards, you can get a pair of creepy cat masks, where you can get a brown creepy cat mask this week for logging in. Straight up, just a login reward. So here's the image of this mask, and if you complete this week's weekly challenge by killing your clone in a clone slasher free mode event, you can get $100,000 and the black creepy cat mask. You can celebrate Dia de Muerto this week in GTA Online by logging in and get free Maritime Cala mask and a free Royal Cala mask just for joining. So here is an image of the Maritime Cala mask, and here's an image of the Royal Cala mask right here. You can also get double money NRP on Acid Lab Cell missions this week by completing Acid Lab Cell missions after sourcing and producing acid in your Acid Lab, which is in your Brigade 6x6, which you can purchase at no discount this week from the Warstock website. And of course, that's generally all of the Rockstar rewards that I have to showcase to you. Here is of course the continuing GTA Plus rewards featuring quadruple money NRP this week on the Slasher adversary modes. Beyond this though, we have continuing double money NRP on these 2 stunt races and I believe 5 death matches. I will showcase it right now, but we have Hollowwood stunt race, and we also have the Dark Ride stunt races on double money NRP in the community series. And yes, these 5 death matches are on double money and RP. TDM The Mill Massacre, Alley Haunted House, Graveyard Sniping, Haunted Cars, and Pirates of Los Santos in a community series tab is still double money NRP throughout this week. This week's discounts features the following information right over here. But like I said, I recommend you guys pick up the Euros unless you want to pick up the Halloween themed vehicles that are limited time before they probably get removed once again from the websites until next year, in which those vehicles I've marked with a red line. But now, going through this week's gun van inventory and discounts, we have the crowbar, the military rifle at 40% off, the minigun, the sniper rifle which is 30% off for GTA Plus members, the musket, the pump shotgun, proximity mines, pipe bombs, sticky bombs, and of course, body armor. It's useless to purchase in this game, just don't bother. Other vehicle discounts features removed website vehicles being the Benefactor Sterling GT, that's 30% off, priced at $709,289, and the Chariot Romero Hearse, that's 30% off, now priced at $31,500 this week. Other vehicle discounts features the NS Euros, priced at $945,000, the Innis Windsor Drop at $630,000, the Chariot Romero Hearse at $31,500, the Declaws Tornado Rat Rod at 264,600, the Albani Lurcher at 455,000, the Albani Brigham at 1,049,300, and the Willard Eudora at 875,000, the LCC Sanctus at 1,396,500, the Albani Frankenstange at 385,000, and of course you can get free select skull tattoos when you visit your tattoo parlor, or free sugar skull face paints when you visit your local barber. Actually, that's the tattoo parlor right over here, and this is the barber right here. I think I said that initially, but I just wanted to make sure. Anyways, this week's premium race features Muscle In with muscle class vehicles that has up to 8 players participating. If you want to participate, go right ahead. This week's time trial for all players is in Sawmill, and this week's new gen time trial for, of course, PS5 and Xbox Series XS players is in Del Perro Beach. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all the information that I have to showcase to you guys. Hope you guys did find this video highly informative, as I try my best to make it to inform you of anything or everything you may need or want to know as of this week's weekly update in GTLN. And if you did find this informative and you wish to stay tuned for my future weekly update news video or any other content such as this every Thursday evening, do leave a like, subscribe, or you can go the extra mile and share this with your friends, or leave a comment on what you liked or disliked about the information you've received. And if you're anyways watching my content and you find it interesting, well, do hit the subscribe button anyways, because you're anyways still watching it, so why not subscribe, right? Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.